Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, June 26, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. Now, tonight's Dynamite was a go-home show to Forbidden Door, so quite a few things to talk about. Let's kick things off talking about the opening segment, which was an MJF and Daniel Garcia segment here. So, when MJF came out to the ring, I thought this was going to be your typical MJF promo where he's going to trash Buffalo and he's going to get booed and all this, that, and the third. But surprisingly, it didn't go that way. So, he got interrupted by Daniel Garcia, who is from Buffalo, as we all know. And one of the things I really, really liked about this was the back and forth between Daniel Garcia and MJF. Daniel Garcia talked about all the things that MJF has done. He talked to him about how that MJF told him he was more than a lackey, a background character, but in a pillar of AEW. And I really, really like that. I really like the fact when Daniel Garcia said that he's not settling for being a pillar, but the backbone, the workhorse, and the very foundation that the future of AEW was built on. So I really, really like that. But this really didn't have anything to do with Forbidden Door. It really didn't. MJF does kind of show Forbidden Door. It's going to be at the USB Arena, and he was there to promote that and how he's going to make his grand return to Collision. But really, this segment, as good as it was, really had nothing to do with Forbidden Door. Now, Will Ospreay does come out, and he basically offers Daniel Garcia next week a match for the international title. And he's already jumping the ship and offering a winner-take-all match for the AEW World title and the international title, assuming Will Ospreay beats Swerve Strickland this Sunday at Forbidden Door. Now, MJF had offered Daniel Garcia a match at All In, and MJF was not too happy that basically Will Ospreay stole his thunder here. So before Daniel Garcia even gets a chance to respond to MJF's challenge, MJF just wishes him good luck, and it's a big opportunity. Daniel Garcia's family was in attendance. His mom was there. He shouted her out on the show. So this is a great opening segment. So I question, this is obviously setting up MJF versus Will Ospreay. I feel like that might happen at All Out, especially if All In, we're going to get MJF versus Daniel Garcia. I feel like that's going to be the all-out match. Will Ospreay versus MJF, which is just going to be a great match. I don't think Will Ospreay is winning at Forbidden Door. I do think that the Don Callis family is going to cost Will Ospreay the match against Swerve Strickland. But yeah, this was a great opening segment. I enjoyed it. But again, I question this really had nothing to do with Forbidden Door. And this is a go-home show to Forbidden Door. So next, we get our trios match. It's the Blackpool Combat Club versus Los Ingobernables de Japón. And I think this was a good match, but this match had no winner. This match ends in DQ after Jon Moxley hit Hiromu with a steel chair to the back. Oh, he hit Shingo in the back with a steel chair. And so the whole point of this was to have Naito, who is challenging Jon Moxley for that title at Forbidden Door, come out. And it basically leads to a brawl and stuff. And of course, there's that interaction with Bryan and Shingo after he saves Wheeler Yuta from the Hammer Annabelle elbows. So I feel like that was the whole purpose of this match, because this match had no winner. We get the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament men's quarterfinals. It's Jay White versus Rey Fenix. Now, Bang Bang Club and Alex Abrahantes and Penta Cero Miedo got sent to the back because they were causing shenanigans. I thought this was a good match. No surprise, Jay White won after he hit that Blade Runner to Rey Fenix. At the end, as they're celebrating, the patriarchy comes out, and Christian Cage gets in Jay White's face, but he doesn't enter the ring. So I feel like we're gonna get the patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Club. But then they're also dealing with House of Black too. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a triple threat trios match. Oh no, not a triple threat. A 3-way trios match. The Patriarchy versus House of Black versus the Bang Bang Gang. Oh, and speaking of the Bang Bang Gang, Buddy Matthews got married, so congrats to him and Rhea Ripley for tying the knot. We get a Matthew and Nicholas Jackson segment, and I think this is kind of a funny segment, but they're talking about how, like, last week, you guys remember the Acclaim beat the Elite in the Eliminator match. So the whole point of this is we actually find out that the wild card is going to be a representative of the Elite. So as we all know, the wild card is going up against Jeff Jarrett in the tournament, and they want the wild card to bring the title to the Elite. Now, at first, I thought that it was going to be Will Ospreay. He was going to lose, and he was going to be Will Ospreay. But based on this segment, I honestly think that the wild card is probably going to be Hangman Adam Page, who we haven't seen since Forbidden Door way back in March. You know, it makes the most sense, and he has history with Swerve Strickland. Like, think about it. Like, if Swerve Strickland beats Will Ospreay, we're probably going to get Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland at All In. So, and remember, like, the last time they had a match at Revolution, Hangman was the one that got pinned. So I feel like that's what's going to happen here. So will Hangman take the title off of Swerve Strickland at All In? In order for the Elite to hold all the gold, that's exactly what has to happen. I feel bad for Jeff Jarrett because of his connection with Owen Hart and the reason that he's in this tournament. Like, I feel so bad. I watched that uncut 9-minute promo that Jeff Jarrett did, and really, like, oh man, like, tugged at my heartstrings. And I was rooting for him to make it at least to the finals. But if he's gonna go up against Hangman Adam Page, I don't think he's going to win this, unfortunately. They shouldn't have given Jeff Jarrett the wild card in this, but somebody had to lose. So, but we'll see. But what do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to be the wild card here? Is it Hangman? If not Hangman, who else could it be? I personally do think it's going to be Hangman Adam Page. It makes the most sense. He was heel before he left, and I think he'll be a heel coming back. So, we get the Acclaim segment, and basically, like, we find out it's going to be the Acclaim versus the Elite at Forbidden Door. I like how Okada, you guys know how, like, the Acclaim always says, "Scissor me, daddy ass." Okada was like, "Scissor me, bitch," which I thought was so hilarious. Like, Okada's been killing it as this heel character. Like, I remember when I went to the forum back in May, he said, "Shut up, bitches," and then he keeps saying, "I'm sorry." He's just throwing a bitch in there every chance he gets. But the whole point of this is that Tanahashi, or as he called himself in this Titantron, Sister Ace, is going to team with the Acclaim to take on the Elite at Forbidden Door. I kind of thought it was going to be, at first I was a little confused because I thought it was going to be Daddy Ass, Tanahashi, and the Acclaim, but when I saw the graphic, it's Tanahashi and the Acclaim versus the Elite. So should be a good match. I'm expecting the Elite to win here, but you never know. You never know. So let me know in the comment section or in the live chat what you guys think of that. We get an interview with Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly, which we find out that it's the Conglomeration. I think I mispronounced that. And honestly, like, I don't know if this is just a temporary team or if this is like a permanent team, but they're like not the 3 people I expect to be in the team. You got Mark Briscoe, you got Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and one of the things I like about this is that Kyle O'Reilly, like, he copies Mark Briscoe, which I thought was hilarious. And then, like, basically, Mark Briscoe says that Orange Cassidy's gonna whoop Zack Sabre Jr. on Sunday, but tonight, Kyle O'Reilly is going to whoop Zack Sabre Jr. So this was kind of like just like a little throwaway segment, I guess you can say. We get Timeless Toni Storm, Mariah May, and Mina Shirakawa versus Anna Jay, Harley, Cameron, and Saraya. So one of the things I like about this is Mariah May first came out with Toni Storm. Then she went back to the tunnel and came out with Mina with Mina. And, you know, because she has to choose Toni Storm or Mina. Well, I thought this was a good match. Obviously, Toni Storm, Mariah May, and Mina were going to win here. But at the end, Mina accidentally hit poor Mariah May with the champagne bottle, which was intended for Toni Storm. And both Toni Storm and Mina check on Mariah May. It's interesting here. Mariah May has to make a decision. Is she going to side with Miss Storm or is she going to side with her old tag team partner here? I do think that the finals of the women's Owen Hart tournament is going to be Mariah May versus Toni Storm. I do think Toni Storm is going to retain against Mina, and it's going to be Mariah May versus Toni Storm at All In for the women's title, because that's pretty much what their entire story has been leading up to, them two facing off against each other. And as much as I would like Deonna Purrazzo, long may she fucking reign, to win, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll be her and Mariah May. I definitely would like to see Deonna advance past round one, but based on the bracket, I don't think she is. I think she probably will lose to Mariah May, unfortunately. So you get Mercedes Monè promo, and she's basically, the whole point of this is that Stephanie Marquette is going to have a match on Collision, and she's going to be ringside for it. Now, I honestly do think Mercedes Monè is probably going to win that New Japan title, and she's going to be two belts Monè. You know, that belt was basically made for her. So no surprise. I'm actually really looking forward to Stephanie Marquette versus Mercedes Monè. I think it's going to be a really great match. I've actually never seen Stephanie Marquette wrestle, so I'm really looking forward to it. So I cannot wait for this match. Yes, it's predictable, but as long as it's a great match, I'll be a happy camper. We get the learning tree segment, and this, I was not a huge fan of this. I don't like the learning tree. But I will say, like, one of the funny things about this is that, like, Chris Jericho, Brian Keith is not able to compete at Forbidden Door. So Chris Jericho apparently got Minoru Suzuki to send in a video, and he thought that Minoru Suzuki was going to team with them, but in reality, Minoru Suzuki wants nothing to do with the learning tree. He instead wants to face Chris Jericho one-on-one for that FTW title. And then Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata all come out, and like Jericho slaps Samoa Joe, and basically a brawl breaks out between them. So I wonder who's going to be the learning tree's third person. And with Minoru Suzuki issuing a challenge, I wonder if we're going to get that, or if Jericho's going to duck. Now, supposedly Jericho didn't see this prior, so he just assumed that Minoru Suzuki was going to agree, but he was not expecting Minoru Suzuki to tag with him to challenge him for the FTW title. So I think Minoru Suzuki is gonna destroy Chris Jericho if that happens with those chops. So we'll have to wait and see. But I was not a huge fan of the learning tree. I'm really not looking forward to that match. Really don't like the pairing of Hook and Samoa Joe. I feel like Hook is past that point where he needs a mentor. We get Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr. This was a really fun match. I actually really enjoyed this match. I really like the back and forth between Kyle and Zack Sabre Jr. At first, I felt like they were evenly matched here. Zack Sabre Jr. won by submission. And that's like one of the things I noticed was like when Orange Cassidy went to go check on Kyle O'Reilly, like Roderick Strong kind of like pushed Orange Cassidy out of the way so like Undisputed Kingdom can check on him. So I feel like the Undisputed Kingdom isn't gonna rest until they get Kyle O'Reilly with them. And what the hell happened to Wardlow? Like, Wardlow just went MIA. Like, he was supposed to be with the muscle in the group. He's not even with them half the time. So the rest of TMDK come out, and then Tomohiro Ishii comes out and stands alongside Orange Cassidy, which I feel is significant because Orange Cassidy has pretty much said that he no longer has any friends. Chuck Taylor is out indefinitely. Trent Beretta betrayed him. Chris Statlander betrayed him. So for Tomohiro Ishii to stand alongside Orange Cassidy against TMDK, I like that. But I wonder if we're going to get a tag team match out of this. I know Forbidden Door is Sunday, but that doesn't mean we can't get a tag match, right? Maybe sometime after? So we find out Beach Break is next week. The main event ends up being a tag team match, Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Gates of Agony. While I did think this was a good match, I hated how they went with the can they coexist. This is such old WWE booking, the can they coexist storyline. They teased that there was moments in this match where, did Will Ospreay intentionally hit Swerve Strickland? Did he? Or was it an accident? Was it intentional? But I just wasn't a huge fan of them teaming up against the Gates of Agony. And not only that, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland were victorious in this. And Will Ospreay snatched the title from Swerve Strickland, and Swerve Strickland attacked Will Ospreay. Basically, because you guys remember last time, Will Ospreay did that last time, and Swerve Strickland basically told him, hey, don't do this again. And he did it again. Here we are. So even though I thought the main event match was a good match, I just was not a huge fan of them doing the whole can they coexist storyline. So overall, on a scale from a 1 to a Shawn Spears perfect 10, this is a 5. I thought this was a 5. And the reason why I thought it was a 5, not that there was any terrible matches on here. I thought all the matches were pretty decent. Really loved that MJF, Daniel Garcia promo that they did at the opening. The reason why I give this a 5 out of 10 is because this is a go-home show to Forbidden Door. This is supposed to sell you Forbidden Door. This is supposed to get you hyped and excited to tune into Forbidden Door. And this didn't do its job, in my opinion. I already bought Forbidden Door, and I was looking forward to Forbidden Door anyways. But if I hadn't bought Forbidden Door, this would have not convinced me to buy Forbidden Door. Another thing, too, is I'm very curious. I'm going to be very curious to see what the ratings to this episode is. Last week, I thought was a fantastic episode, and I was really shocked that they got such low ratings. That they should have switched. Honestly, if this would have been your run-of-the-mill Dynamite, I probably would have been a little bit more generous, giving it a 6 or 7. But this is a go-home show, so I can't give it anything higher than a 5, because this did not sell me Forbidden Door. Last week felt like the go-home show, and that was a really great show. All right, well, with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or this new video. As far as tomorrow is concerned, again, if you like TNA, make sure you tune into Body Slam for all things TNA as Bird and I talk Explosion and TNA Impact. And then I'll see you guys here Friday for after Friday night SmackDown. Bye.